Hello, Ryan here, and welcome to Star Citizen Sunday. This is a weekly show which covers all of the news from the week just past. Be sure to subscribe if you like what you see, and let's get on with it. This week, we get a great sneak peek of the Vulture, the Corsair, and the Hull A in flight in Pyro, plus a big ship update checking out the latest progress on many fan favourites that include the Drake Vulture and Corsair, the Banu Merchantman, the RSI Scorpius, and a deep look inside the Hull C. So this week's Inside Star Citizen kicked off with a new dev origin story. This time it was a chap called Will Price, who is a gameplay capture artist responsible for all of the B-roll that we see during the episodes of Inside Star Citizen. Which I will say has certainly gotten much better since he took this job on. It does make my life much easier when finding visual content for my videos, so I very much appreciate it. Anyway, Will has a lot of experience as a freelance cinematographer who has worked on music videos, short films, feature films, and documentaries. He was also a backer from 2016, so he was very excited to join CIG, which actually helped him out quite a bit when it came to capturing B-roll, as he already had a lot of knowledge about the game, about the many areas of the PU and the ships that we have, so he knew where to get the best shots. Will also works on the patch trailers, showing off all of the upcoming features for the next patch, and gameplay trailers as well. And it was a great introduction to another very talented dev working for CIG. And as I say, his captures have definitely improved the visual quality of what we see on Inside Star Citizens, allowing us to really see some of these features in all their glory. Also, a couple of things to note. We got to see the Vulture, the Hull A, and the Corsair in flight in Pyro during this segment, which did look very beautiful, and probably part of Will's own captures for upcoming Inside Star Citizens. But secondly, right at the start, he mentions that the cave in which he set up all of these little Pico the penguins, that no one has found yet. So it does sound to me like we better get hunting for this newly revealed Easter egg. Anyway, up next is an all-ship sprint report, kicking off with the Drake Corsair. This is currently in Greybox, where the internal layout is further explored and developed to make sure everything fits inside. Starting off with the hangar/cargo bay at the rear, then moving through to the engineering component room, where the vast majority of components are held, as well as some storage areas. Into the habitation, which does have a toilet, big thumbs up from me, and to the left, just out of shot, there are 3 private crew quarters. Then as we go through to the front of the ship, we pass through the airlock and get to the bridge, which also has the captain's private quarters on the left and the cockpit with the support seat that drops down underneath. Now, they did say that the cockpit will be pushed further into the dev process early on, so it can serve as the style guide for those who are working on the rest of the ship. I am loving this ship, and it looks like it's sticking quite close to the concept, and this is likely going to be my medium multi-crew daily driver, I think. Next, we took a look at the Drake Vulture, which has made its way through the final art phase, and now focus is on level of details and early wear and tear shader tests, and soon visual effects and lighting passes will begin. Now, I am really excited to get the Vulture for 318 alongside salvage. Fingers crossed, touch wood and all that stuff. And don't worry, I am certain that the Vulture will remain with its signature yellow skin. This white skin will most likely just be used to help test the wear and tear shader so that they can visually see it better. Although that's not to say that we won't get the white skin in the verse with it. But so far, the Vulture is looking like a cracking ship. The Banu Merchantman development continues with more white box exploration of internal areas, which include the medical center, security room, which I do love, as it looks like you may have some form of surveillance suite. Hopefully we'll hear more on this, making sure that shoppers on board aren't stealing or causing trouble. And finally, the toilet area as well, which the team are still discussing potentials of having multi-species facilities that can be used by the Banu, humans, and the Xi'an. Which does kind of make sense from a Banu standpoint in terms of the lore, as the Banu are always trying to make that sale, and so they want to please everyone and make everyone happy so that they can cash in on it. Work also continues on the huge front landing gear of the Banu Merchantman, and it is going to be insane watching this ship come into land. Next, work continues on the RSI Scorpius, with the artists taking one of the 4 wings to final art so that they can just then duplicate it and reverse it for the rest. I will say you can definitely tell it is Robert Space Industries, as the wings remind me of sticks of RAM, just like they do with the Aurora series. Work also continues on the entry and egress points for the Scorpius and additional ship tints, and that black and orange skin looks pretty awesome. So finally, for the Hull C, we got a deep look into its interior, which is looking very impressive. And these Hull ships have kind of been on the backlog for a long time now while they work on the tech capable of getting this ship in game or getting it working. And they did say that as the work on the cargo refactor continues, they have been working to get the Hull C ready, which includes work on the remote tractor beam and remote camera UI that is being developed using building blocks. The Hull A, they did say, is coming on 3.17, but we will continue to check in on the Hull C as it comes to fruition. Now, it is going to be quite the day when the Hull C comes in, and it does sound like they are maybe waiting for the cargo refactor to be complete and released before bringing it, or at the same time, which does make sense, as it is probably a bit of a blocker for the Hull C with it being capable of transporting such a large amount of freight. Anyway, that was Inside Star Citizen, a great catch-up on all the ships that are making their way through the ship pipeline, and it's great to see that many of them, like the Hull series and the Banu Merchantman, are ships from way back when, not to mention two of my favourites, the Drake Vulture and Corsair. Cannot wait to see those, but with that said, that is Inside Star Citizen. Let us move on. So also this week we had a new Galactopedia update. This time it included the full Stormwall article, delving much deeper into the life of the space whale and its behaviours. A great read to learn more about that and what to expect for future updates. Plus the latest jump point is now available for all RSI subscribers. Now on a side note, in light of what is happening with Ukraine and Russia, CIG decided to cancel Star Citizen Live, which is understandable. I too have felt a little odd sitting there streaming while so many are suffering, and I do suspect that there are some developers working at CIG who are directly affected as well, so much respect CIG, and hopefully the EUPU Q&A can return next week. So that brings us to the end of the show. If you do enjoy my content, please consider subscribing and hitting that like button. Also, I am able to do this thanks to my very generous patrons and channel members. If you appreciate what I do and would like to help make it even better from as little as $1 a month, all of the links are provided below.